So this is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro carded series Scorpion figure. This is a single release that is available at online retailers such as Big Bad Toy Store. On the backside we do have a read-up. You can go ahead and pause the video here if you wish to read it. So this is a repaint, redeco of the previously released Scorpion figure from the MCU Spider-Man Far From Home, not No Way Home, but Far From Home wave with Molten Man. That Scorpion was just a darker green color and the mask was completely covering his mouth. So it was kind of an awkward design. I didn't dig it. I actually passed up on that wave entirely. And I, of course, passed up on that Scorpion, so I don't have it, but it is exactly 100% the same figure. Even the head sculpt, even the face sculpt is the same exact one from that release, just painted differently. Of course, painted to have the mouth there rather than the mask covering it. And I'm actually surprised it took them this long to release this repaint because we knew it was coming. It's just kind of weird that they took so long to do this, but here it is nonetheless. It looks far better than that release, at least for me, because I like this design a little bit more. This is all you're gonna get, just like that release. It didn't come with any accessories, no hands, no head swaps or anything at all, just a figure. That's it. You get a right fist and a left open hand, and of course we get the nice bendy wire tail, which is super long. Like I said, I didn't get that previous Scorpion, so I didn't realize just how long this tail really was until I opened this one. As a matter of fact, the tail is about 15 inches long, give or take. And of course, as you can imagine, you can bend it as you wish, so that is the beauty of the bendy wire. And here's hoping that we get to see more of this, especially with a future release of Doc Ock. That's where we all want that to be done. But it's nice to see Hasbro continuing to support the bendy wire, such as the lizard that they just recently released this year that had the bendy wire tail. That was all brand new. So pretty dope that they are listening to us in that regard. Now the tail will give him some weight to the back, so he will kind of fall back unless you lean him forward just a little bit like I am now. That way he could stand up just fine. And I tried, it looks like it's removable, but it really isn't. I mean, I'm sure if I really force it, I can take it off, but I thought it was just pegged in on the back with a peg hole and that's it. It probably is, but I think they glued it just because of the sheer weight and so that it wouldn't be annoying to have the thing fall off every 5 seconds. So I prefer, I don't need to take it off. You don't need, Scorpion needs his tail anyway. So overall, first impressions, I really am liking this figure. Alright, so a little closer look at that face sculpt. You can take a look at what they did here in terms of paint. Again, whip out your old Scorpion figure from that Molten Man wave if you have it, and take a look at the head sculpt. It's exactly the same, 100%. But you can see where the paint job really makes a difference here. And even looking at that older release, you can see that they even outlined the mask. It's kind of sculpted on the side there. It seemed like this should have been the first release, and then that initial release would have been a repaint, but they kind of did it backwards, with that. But either way, I'm digging it. Pretty cool looking head sculpt overall. There's the torso, got some sculpted lines across the entire figure. We do get pins on the elbows and the knees, and then there's the feet. So a light green and a darker green, and there's your Scorpion. So overall, it's pretty dope. Have really no big major gripes on it other than the fact that he just comes with nothing, and I wish he had some hand swaps or at least a head swap. So articulation, his head will sit on a ball jointed hinge here. It's a little stiff on mine, but there you go. You can get him to look all the way up, or you can get him to look all the way down. We can do that little movement there. We do get some head tilting just a little bit, and of course he swivels left and right. Arms are going to go forward all the way around. They do go in and out about that far. And then we get a thigh swivel. I'm sorry, we get a bicep swivel. Whoops. And then we get a double jointed elbow, along with a wrist swivel and a hinge. There is a torso diaphragm joint there, along with a waist swivel. Legs will kick forward. They go back down. They go in and out. We have thigh swivels and in and out. I guess to do both, you can go about that far. We get a double jointed knee. Then we get the boot gut shin swivel and an ankle hinge at the foot along with a rocker. Alright, and here he is next to the retro carded lizard, which is one of my favorite figures of the year, and this one did utilize a bendy wire tail phenomenally, so I really love that. and they both look pretty good together here. I wish he did have a little bit of shading on that green to bring out those details on the lines there. He's a little bit too bright, but again, he's part of the animated series, I guess is what they're trying to go for with this retro carded line. So I don't mind the bright colors too much. Just a little dab of shading would have been cool like they did on this lizard here. Alright, and here he is next to the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man that comes in the Spinneret 2-pack. And these look good. Of course, you could put pretty much any of the most recent released Spider-Mans next to this guy here. And just because I think this figure looks real cool, here is the Bombastic Bagman. Alright, so nice, quick, and easy review here since he is pretty much something we've seen before. But ultimately, I do like this look a little bit better than that all green, or that, I should say, all dark green with the full mask look. Although, when you pull him up on Google, or when you see him, the majority of the time you see him in the comics, he does have that full face mask. It's just my preference here that I do prefer this look a little better. So if anything, that Far From Home release is still a good comic book rendition of him. But for me personally, and again, this is just going to boil down to your preference, of course, just like it is for me. It's just based on which design you prefer the most, and this is it for me here. So I really am digging this, and I'm glad that they utilized that Scorpion that they released before to give us the colors that I like. At $25 though, I do feel like it's a little bit steep. And that previous release, although it did not come with any alternate hands or heads, it did come with a Build-A-Figure piece at a cheaper price at the time. So it had more plastic and, it cost less. So if anything, if it's going to go to $24.99, it should at least have the same amount of plastic and replace that Build-A-Figure part with something else that could go with the Scorpion. Like, of course, an alternate head, as I keep mentioning. So that's my only gripe about him. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it, and I really am digging the bendy wire tail. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.